show you how if we break the song down into its essential phrases, which in this case there's really only 3 phrases, it'll be much easier for you to follow along listening and watching him play it, but also this approach works for learning tons of songs. Let's listen to Clapton talk about it.
How technically proficient was Robert Johnson?
When I first heard him, I think Keith Richards said this too, that we all thought he was being accompanied by someone. It sounded like, and it wasn't unusual in those days. You often had a piano player and a guitar player, or 2 guitar players. And it wasn't until later that I realized you could do it, what he does, but you have to really, I mean, I've had to work really hard in the last few days to try and do some of the things that I needed to do to play alone. And my take on Robert Johnson so far is that it needs 2 people to play what he plays and sing at the same time. And on top of
It's funny to note that he said that he's had to work really hard in the last few days to learn this. For most people, it's going to take a lot longer than that. But this approach that I'm going to show you in a few minutes is really going to speed that process up drastically so that maybe y'all can learn it in a few days too.
Because if you're going to emulate this stuff, you kind of reach a point where you think, well, shall I do an approximation, or is it necessary to really sit down and completely copy it? And I think to do that would be a life's work. I mean, seriously, would be a life's work for any musician.
Here's Clapton saying himself that learning this song exactly like Robert Johnson played it would be a lifetime's work. Now, he just admitted that he's only spent a few days trying to learn this, so he himself is doing what he calls an approximation of Robert Johnson. That's an important detail you need to keep in mind. If he's doing an approximation, you should be doing an approximation too. It's super common for people to get caught up in the details of this stuff. Get the big picture, get the approximation, you'll be able to play these songs, have more fun with it. That's what this is about.
And on top of what I'm describing, he had a completely freestyle approach to any kind of structure too, so that, you know, if it was given that it was a 12-bar structure he was working in, on some, you know, on one verse it would maybe 13 or 14. He would just extend parts or shorten them according to how he felt, or, you know, what he needed to do next. And that makes it really difficult to impersonate, because if you're going to emulate this stuff, you kind of reach...
There's a standard form that Robert Johnson uses when he's playing these songs, but occasionally on one verse or another verse, he might be adding or subtracting some measures to fit the lyrics or to fit whatever he's trying to do next, as Eric Clapton says. That is definitely not where you should start. You should start with the standard form, which is what I'm drawing out over here. Now, this is the standard form that he uses in a lot of his songs. And I know that just looking at the form doesn't really mean a lot to most of y'all. So I'm going to break this down in actual phrases, in English words, so that we can communicate each of the parts. Now, for this song, it's in open A, which is the same thing as open G with a capo on the 2nd fret, which is what I'm doing. We basically have 3 phrases. We have, number 1, a call phrase, which we'll put here, 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 and here. We have a response phrase, which we'll put here, here, and here. And then we also have a 4-chord phrase, which we'll put here. Now on this section right here where the 5 chord is being played, he literally is just playing 1 note. So we don't have to worry too much about that. Call phrase 1. We're just doing this chord, back to that chord, releasing the 2nd finger, and then back to this chord. Now in the open G tuning, if you hit extra strings, it's still gonna sound really good. 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4. He plays that call phrase 3 times in a row and then goes to the response. We just have 5th fret, 3rd fret and 5th fret. 4-chord phrase. Now notice that little small bend there.
Got stones in my passway.
Call phrase.
In my road, seem dark and blind.
Response.
I got stones
4-chord
in my
phrase.
passway. In my road, seem dark and blind.
Call phrase. Response.
I have a pain in my heart that'll take my appetite.
Back to the response. And response again. Now it starts again. Call.
That blues. And a happy bird to sing. Happy bird to whistle.
Chord phrase.
And a happy bird to sing. I have a woman that I'm loving, oh, but she don't mean a thing. My enemies have betrayed me, have overtaken both bodies
Call
lives.
phrase again. Response.
My enemies have betrayed me, have overtaken both bodies lives. And there's one thing certainly, I had stones all in my path. You tried to
Here's that
take my
bridge
life,
section.
and all my loving too. You laid a passway for me. Now what are you trying to do? And I'm crying, please. Please.
The 4-chord phrase.
Friend.
Call to response.
And if you hear me hollering in my passway rider, woo, won't you don't let me in? I got 3 legs to truck on. Boy, please don't block my road. Got 3 legs to truck on. Boy, please don't block my road. Didn't feel the same about my rider. Lord, I'm booked and I got to go.
Awesome. Now he has a little turnaround at the end there. Let me show you that real quick. Now he does that with a slide. I didn't put my slide on to show you, but that's where he's going, up to the relative 12th fret. So hopefully you're able to hear in this huge complicated song that it's really just the 3 phrases: call, response, and then 4-chord phrase. And then also, you know, the bridge section, which is just another kind of section, a boogie woogie in open G. You guys should know how to play. And then over the 5-chord, he just plays that one note. And since there's only really one note with the slide, you could totally get away with playing the song without slide at all. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where it starts over. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.